Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, subscribe, folks, comment, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone who does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen folks, there's a link tree down below, has the link to all of my social media. Please go down there and follow me across my social media platforms. Also has a link to my YouTube pages as well. Please go down there, subscribe to my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so that when I post content, you folks will be in the know. I will also be live streaming Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be live streaming. We'll be talking about the Jets, everything that we got going on. So please call in. You know what I'm saying? Please call in and share your takes with me. So I want to thank everyone that gets involved in any way they can with that. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, come to talk to you folks tonight about Alabama winning the national championship against Ohio State. They won the game 52-24, and the Jets' options at number 2. Now, listen, yet again, all right. I remember when we, lost the number 1 pick, Jets fans, other sports media, so on and so forth, were telling us, hey, you guys are idiots. There's no value outside of, if you miss out on Trevor Lawrence, you're a dummy. You guys shouldn't have won any games. That was a garbage idea. That's why you guys are so bad. Your franchise is terrible, so on and so forth. Anybody after Trevor Lawrence is useless, so on and so forth. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Tonight, we saw some players, particularly some players on the Alabama side of the football, that really have boosted their draft stock and have made the number 2 pick even more interesting, have given us even more options there. Let me tell you something. Alabama, I'm going to start with that side of the ball. Alabama looked phenomenal tonight. They really, things got out of hand early and they just kind of put Ohio away. But, whew, let me tell you, this kid, DeVonta Smith, it was a DeVonta Smith show. I ain't even going to lie to you. I love this kid before the national championship game. I was raving about this kid. I loved him. I thought he was phenomenal. But boy, oh boy, he had 215 yards at the half, and he had 3 TDs. He looked uncoverable. He didn't look like anybody in the building, you, me, the janitor. Nobody could cover this damn guy. I mean, nobody. He would just seem like he was wide open all game. And when he caught the ball, he was running away from guys. Easy peasy. He made it look so damn easy. The only thing that stopped him was he got hurt and he had to leave the game. He had an injury, in his hand. And so that's why he didn't put up even more numbers. He ended up, coming back to the field, to celebrate and do his thing with the championship trophy. But we could see he has a cast on his hand. He may have broke 1 or 2 fingers or something like that. He may have, heavily injured 1 or 2 fingers. So that's the only thing that stopped him. But let me tell you something. DeVonta Smith tonight was ridiculous. Another guy on the Alabama side of the ball that was phenomenal as well was Najee Harris. Najee Harris looked really good tonight. He had 22 carries, 72 yards, and he had 2 TDs on the ground. But what really impressed me was his ability in the passing game. He caught 7 balls for 79 yards, and he also had a TD there as well. Let me tell you something. Najee Harris, nobody can tackle him, it seems like. Nobody. I mean, it doesn't seem like anybody can stop this guy. He was running at times with 3-4 guys on his back, and he was breaking tackles and breaking away from him. There were a couple plays, honestly, where it was like a shoestring tackle that saved Ohio State because he was breaking away from 3-4 tackles, and he was about to be gone, and somebody would just barely catch him, and he would go down. Barely. I'm talking, and this is after like breaking 3, 4, 5 tackles. I mean, he looked ridiculous, but again, what would impress me was the soft hands and pass in the passing game. He's a guy that can come out the backfield, catch the football, which at the next level is going to make him even more deadly. This is a guy that I could see teams targeting. And let me tell you something. A lot of people talking about that number 2 pick. We're going to talk about that again in a second. But we also have the 23rd pick as well in the draft. I could see if Najee Harris is still around late in the first, maybe a team wants to move up and take a chance, and take that running back late in the first. I could see that. I could absolutely see that in the draft. And maybe that accumulates us even more draft capital because I've been talking about utilizing that 23rd pick and trading down and really stacking up, particularly at the bottom of the first or early in the second. This could be our ticket because this guy right here is phenomenal. Let me tell you something. If we had all the things necessary in the offensive side of the ball, if we had our line together, if we had wide receivers, I would be interested in taking Najee Harris late in the first. That would be something that I would be interested in doing, but we don't have none of that. And I know a lot of Jets fans started talking about that, like, hey, this guy should be our first round pick at 23. I love Najee, love him to death. We should not be taking a running back in the first round. We should not be doing that. We don't have enough. We've got to stack up. But Najee Harris is phenomenal. I was also impressed by Mac Jones as well. He was 34 or 36 of 44, 464 yards throwing the football. He also had 5 TDs. That guy looked good as well. He's supposed to have a late first round pick grade on him too. He looked really good out there. The Ohio State side of the ball, Justin Fields, I thought tonight was really hampered by those ribs. Ohio just could not get anything really going. They kind of struggled offensively most of the game. They struggled to protect Justin. He had a lot of pressure in his face. But I know a lot of people are still extremely high on him because, again, what he did against Clemson and also just the season. You know, you can't judge a guy off of one game, of course. But he just couldn't get it. You know, couldn't really get going. Now he did make some great plays, though. I will tell you that he did make some great plays tonight. He had a big time run kind of late in the game to really give Ohio hope, like continue to fight and push. That run also led to a touchdown. He threw some really nice balls tonight, really great touch on some things, but again, they just couldn't keep any consistent drives going. They really, really couldn't. And again, they could not keep the pressure off of Justin Fields tonight, could not. So again, when you look at the number 2 pick right now, we have options as Jets fans. As a Jets franchise, we have options, okay? DeVonta Smith, again, his stock is rising. It's got to be through the roof. Dude, I think if this guy would have played, he probably would have had 500 yards tonight. I'm not lying to you. He looked that good out there. And I started hearing Jets fans and other media as well saying, hey, the Jets could take him at 2. Maybe the Jets should think about taking DeVonta at 2. You know, something like that. I'm starting to hear that's starting to circulate and buzz around as well. And let me tell you something. I don't know if we'll do it, but I do know we need wide receiver help. And I do know I was talking about this kid before the draft because I loved him. But I don't know if we'll do that. I don't know if we will. But, man, I could see a team looking at him and going, ooh, I don't know if this kid's going to survive past 3. I'm going to move up to 2 and take him. I could see it happening. And again, Justin Fields, I think, is still an option there. You know, I know a lot of Jets fans that love him and still would love to take him. He's shown, you know, he has potential. I think if coached up correctly in this football league, he could be a solid pro. And let me tell you, Najee Harris, that number 23 pick, I could see a team wanting to move up to grab that kid because, whoo, he is something else. He really is something else. Listen, comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. What were your thoughts about some of the players that I named? How do you feel about Najee Harris? What are your thoughts about DeVonta Smith, some of the things that he showed in that football game? How do you feel about Justin Fields? You know, I know some Jets fans seems like they kind of cooled on him, but there's a lot of Jets fans that are still extremely excited about him and still want to take him, you know, at number 2. I could see it being done. I'm not cooled on him. I think he's still a solid quarterback. I just think tonight he was playing Alabama. He got pressured a lot. Those ribs are hurting him. He just couldn't get anything off. It just wasn't, you know, Ohio's night. But again, he still had some really good throws. He still looked solid. And he was going through progressions as well. That's one of the things I really like too. He was going through his progressions and trying to find guys. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. You folks have a good one. Peace.